creating, you have to create comments. So I'm going to show you in the easiest way how you can create it. So the first thing that goes around over here is getting to know about your point quotes and comments. So we are looking at this side of information. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. We're going back. So we are here. Yeah. So this part of information is known as creating point, quote, and comments. Yes, we are right over here. What is PQC? P stands for point. Any passage, any piece of reading that has been given to you, you will be identifying an idea. An idea has to be identified. You have to identify, what is this point saying? What is this point about? Is this point about the voice of the narrator? Is it trying to tell us that it is something to do with sadness, happiness? What kind of feeling that has been communicated? Is it to do with exaggeration? When the character talks, he talks too much. Is it about creating up a relationship or breaking up the relationship? Is it killing of an animal? What is the main point? What is the main idea that we need to identify? So yes, point is all about understanding your concept, understanding a passage. Then you need to support whatever point you are making, whatever idea you have identified, you have to support it with the help of quote. So this way you are going to provide an evidence. What do we call this? Quotation. Quotation is acting as an evidence. If I'm saying that Shiza Mirza is highly a confident young lady, then I will be lifting up a phrase. You have to lift up. I'll show you every single thing that I'm saying over here. You have to lift up a precise, a very brief, a short phrase, or perhaps a part of a sentence, a part of a sentence to embed in your quotation. I've written Q. Q stands for quotation. In your quotation, you have to just fit it. If you're saying the girl is sad, comma, you have to write down, perhaps the girl, from the text you are lifting up and saying that the tears were rolling down her face. Tears rolling down her face. You lift it up. You're showing, you're giving an evidence. So you're identifying up a point, you're creating a quote, and then you're commenting on it. So this carries the maximum marks. Why do we have the maximum marks for the comment? Because it is showing me what impact it has created on the reader. Impact on the reader. I'm expecting that my students are writing the bullet points. They are not copying the whole document. Please don't do that, because this is definitely going to be uploaded on the YouTube. At the same time, you will be share this document till the time we have online classes. So I will be sharing in my WhatsApp group also. So please make sure, but these parts which I'm writing with my pen right now will not be there. So you have to work. Yes. Yes, Aisha Meme. Okay, let me just reshare. Now, is it working? Now, can you look at the screen? Can you please tell me? All right. So, Shumeta, was the screen visible? Can you please tell me that you are able to understand till the point I was writing?
Assalamu
Okay.
alaikum, miss. Yes, it's
Walaikum
clear.
assalam, beta. It's clear? All
Yeah.
right. So I am doing a very quick recap. The rule for scoring the maximum in your A-level English language is to further accentuate your O-level skill. And what are you going to do? You are going to make your point. You have to make up a point, but understanding the text. You are going to identify an idea. What is being said? If I need to even more simplify, if I need to even more simplify what exactly I'm talking by point, it means tell me what. What is the point? What is the idea? What is the concept? And then if I feel that this is the concept, then I need to support it with an evidence. And how will I support it? By quoting from the text. All right. I have to quote from the text. It's almost like you need to give me a proof of something that this is actually taking place in the text. And then last but not the least, explain your point by commenting on it, meaning within the text. So this carries maximum marks. Why? Because it talks about the impact on the reader. Oh, it makes me feel so pitiful about her. I feel so sad. I feel loaded with complaints. I feel astonished. I feel surprised. All of these emotions are going to be incorporated in this way. I am introducing you. So, with the drum rolling, we call this paper one. All right. So, PQC is clear to you. What do we mean by point, quote, and comment? Are these 3 points clear to you? What do we mean by them? If you use your mic, that would be lovely. Please use your mic. Don't be afraid of speaking in the mic. This is language, so we have to share our thoughts. We have to share our perspectives also. Have you understood? Write in the chat box very quickly. Write it down. You have
Yes,
understood what
miss.
is the point? Okay. Okay. So now we have, I'm gonna go a bit more. Okay, that's lovely. We will follow the chain point code comment in paper one. What is paper one known as? I have mentioned it before as well, and I'm mentioning it now. Paper one is called your reading paper. You have to read, beta. You have to read your paper as much as clearly, as much as possible in the most probable way. Now, what the question comes in, my points that I will be creating in the text should be based upon what? It can be based, you may identify in the text about feelings, images, figurative language. I'm going to dig into each and everything. Feelings, images, figurative language, style, that is a structure. If you don't know what is style or the structure, please write it down. It means the shape of the text. The shape of the text. Shape of the text is also known as graphology. All right. So I am going very emphasizing upon certain ideas. Style, that is structure, shape of the text. You may have longer paragraphs, you may have shorter paragraphs. So this is known as beta, what do we call it? Graphology. Graph as in like the structure, graphology, the study of the shape. So it's going to be that way. I will be doing this now with you as well as this, okay? Action verbs. Miss Nadia is teaching in the class, teaching. That girl walks while shuffling her feet, shuffling. So action verbs. Use of adjectives, adverbs, juxtaposition. So I think I'm gonna go one by one. Why? Why can't you see the screen? Can you all look at the screen, beta? Is the screen visible?
Yes, miss, it is.
It is? At any point while I was dealing with it, did it go off or something? Yes or no? You will tell
I guess
me.
it's to go, but now it's good.
It's good. Please do let me know because I'm not doing anything. It may be a bit of a problem maybe from the internet side, but we are definitely going to engage as much as possible. Please be very quick enough to tell me that the screen has to be shared immediately because I haven't stopped sharing the screen. All right. So all right. So we have feelings, we have images, we have figurative language, we have style, that is a structure. So I am going to deal with images in the first place. I have stopped here, which is called juxtaposition. So I am going to tell you from here, images. Give the heading images, please. Now I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Why? Because I am sharing a fresh page so that you people can write down in the best possible way. Give the heading images. The first image that we will be writing and sharing is called visual image. I'm going to share the screen. Just hold on. Patience is a virtue. Now, can you look at the screen, beta? I believe yes.
Yes, miss.
All right, lovely. So we have over here with us okay. So we are using images. So the first image is known as visual image. All right. What do we mean by visual? This is related to sense of sight and any sort of color, shape, or pattern. Through this, you will be able to identify, oh, that's a visual image. Is this clear? Color, shape, or any kind of pattern. This you will be able to identify visual image. The second one is basically known as auditory image. It has been taken from audio, auditory image. All right, it's your listening, sense of listening. Is it clear? So anything like a scream, shout, etc., you would easily be able to understand. A little bullet point that you need to make over here is of onomatopoeia, which means the sound words. What do we mean by this? The sound words. For example, shuffling of feet is actually sound word. Quack, quack, buzzing, tooting of a horn. Can you give me one more example, please, of a sound word? Onomatopoeia. Give me one sound word, perhaps of a bird.
Miss the birds chirping.
The chirping, the tweeting, yeah, the tooting of the horn, the shuffling, the ringing. Every sound is going to be creating an onomatopoeia. If you have to write it, this is onomatopoeia, sound word. But if you have to write, you can also write this like this one. Please, your spellings should be correct. Onomatopoeic expressions. You can also use it like this. Onomatopoeic expressions. So onomatopoeia or use of onomatopoeic expression, you can also use this way. Is it clear? Am I going too fast? Should I repeat it? Are we writing it down, Shumita?
Yes,
Shiza?
miss.
All
We are
right.
right.
Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yeah.
This all these things are going to be so interesting when I'm going to proceed with my lesson, so that you will see that how interesting the novels from which the extracts you will be dealing with. Please do check it out, my introductory class, where I have described in detail your the paper, the mark division, what exactly English language is all about. Do check that out. Okay, today we are officially starting with the basics of paper one. This is known as the basics. All right, so we have number 3, which is called, now how many senses are we remaining with? You tell me. 2 senses. Human has 5 senses. So I am done with sense of sight, sense of listening. What else is remaining now?
The sense of feel.
Sense of feel, that comes later. But what about my nose and my mouth? So I would have the sense of smell, and this is known as olfactory image. Olfactory image, which is sense of smell. So can you name some of the smells, please? Positive versus negative. So in negative, it could be like reeking of the rotten onions, or it could be stench. I can't stand the stench. Pong, foul odor. There are so many other expression, etc., etc. Positive, when your mom is baking a cake, it's like aroma, aromatic, or you have the scent or floral scent, or the perfume, as in like the perfume scent or aroma or fresh smell or refreshing or floral, any way, the way you like. So olfactory image is known as the sense of smell. I hope this is clear. Shall we
Yes.
proceed, beta? Okay, that's good. Now, then we have sense of smell, and we call this, beta, gustatory image. What do we call this? Gustatory image. It means the sense of taste. Now, in all of these texts, don't think that every image is going to be there. Visual and auditory are the most dominating. Why is that so? Because the writer is always, making us look at the scene. He is showing up a picture, presenting a photograph of the scene. So you will come across a lot of visual details: dark haired girl, dark jacket, blue blazer. A lot of colors will be used: cobalt blue sea, or looking at the orangish sky. So yeah, that will be used. Good sense of taste. So sense of taste, all of those tastes, when you talk about acerbic, acidic, or you say salty or spicy or sweet, anything the way you want to write, etc. Like you can have so many of the taste, sense of taste in it. And then lastly, we have, I'm inserting a page, all right, and we are going up. Do you want me to revise for you any point which you have missed out? No, not yet. Okay, so we have got the last one, which is called tactile image. This is the sense of touch. So my question to you is, if I write the word is smooth, is it going to be tactile image? Yes or no? And if I write glossy, oh, the pages are quite glossy. Glossy is going to qualify as tactile image, or smooth is going to qualify as a tactile image?
Miss Smooth.
Like smooth.
Smooth. Why not glossy?
Miss, it's
Glossy
a
picture.
visual.
It's like a
One by
visual.
one. Sorry, who is saying, Shiza or Shmeta?
Shmata.
Yes, beta. Tell us.
Glossy is something visual, I guess.
Yes, you're right, not guess, but actually it's glossy. That means it is only to be seen when you look at the texture, but you're not feeling. You feel glossy means shining. So, yes, it is, you're right. This is visual image. All right. Next, we are done with the images. I want um, Shumeta, could you please just recap? Only name. Tell me the names of the 5 images that we have written now. Just tell me the 5 images.
It's visual image,
Excellent.
auditory, gustatory, olfactory, and tactile.
Shabash. Very good. I'm so happy, so proud of you. You're going very good. Shiza, next turn is going to be yours, and Aisha Meme, yours. So we are going to look at now, what do I mean by juxtaposition? What do we mean by juxtaposition? All right. Juxtaposition is actually a contrast within the same paragraph, contrast within the same paragraph, or you may say contrast in the nearest proximity, in the nearest proximity. It has to be a contrast. Contrast means difference. Contrast means difference or two opposite ideas which have been discussed against each other. So let's say here I'm talking about sleep, and here I'm talking about being awake. So they are going to be opposites, but you have to see it has to be in the nearest proximity. This is called juxtaposition. All right. Is this point clear? Is
Could you
this
give an
point?
example for a
Hmm.
clearer view?
Sorry, come again, Beta Shiza.
Yes, could you give an example?
Yes, I can give you an example. For instance, okay, let me share. I've stopped sharing the screen, and I'm just going to show you a paragraph, and you will identify all by yourself where is juxtaposition. I'm going to hold your finger and make you reach towards a certain point, and that would be my achievement, that you will be able to understand, oh, that is a juxtaposition. I'm just uploading. 1 minute. Yes, it's almost done. Thank you for your patience. All right, yes, we are here. All right, so you're looking at this paragraph, and forget about this caption. I can just simply tell you the real deal is this one paragraph, all right? Condor is basically the largest bird in the world. It has massive wings, and it has been used over here as a metaphor for a person who wanted freedom to break away from his insecurities, perhaps, or perhaps he's too frightened to do something. So I'm going to read this paragraph, and you try to identify from where the contrast begins. It is one big paragraph, okay? I had never felt so alone. The wide sweep of the Andes, its mountain, right, is stretched in front of me. This man is perhaps standing at the top of the mountain, at the peak, a seemingly infinite expanse of ice and rock. So, what he looks around himself is nothing but ice and rock, and he feels alone. The air cut into my cheeks and blinded me as I stood unsteadily looking down on the valley below. Then, for a moment, the skies cleared above me, and I saw a single solitary condor rise on the breeze, effortless and free. I would be that condor. I would rise above my despair. Hmm. Where do you think that there is a shift in the tone, in the voice of the narrator? How do you think he feels in the beginning of the same paragraph and how he feels at the end of the paragraph?
Miss, Miss,
Yes, Peter. Yes, I'm all ears.
Miss. I think in the starting of the paragraph, he
Hmm.
feels like he cannot do anything, but
Hmm.
in the end of the paragraph, he gets some inspiration, some motivation,
What
and
is
he
that
feels
line that tells you that he gets inspiration?
um. I think it would be where it says, "I would be that condor. I would rise above my despair."
I would rise above my despair. So a bit of clapping for you. Very good. Because in the beginning, he says he's so hopeless, but towards the end, he's so hopeful, isn't it? Now, do you understand? This is called juxtaposition. Like you have hope, hopelessness, and you have hopefulness at the end of the same paragraph. So the idea is there. It's not that because over here he's using the word I would rise above my despair, my loneliness, my solitude, and I had never felt so alone. He seems to be so sad. Now, Shiza, did you understand what are we talking about as a juxtaposition? It's just like maths. It comes with practice. When you read more, when you are exposed to certain types of text, then it will help you to even grab more juxtapositions. They are opposite, two different contrasting tones which have been written over here. So, is this clear? Is this
Miss,
clear,
there's
Bidar? Hmm.
is irony any different from this?
Irony is a bit different. Yes, irony is different. How? Because irony only comes to you when you read the entire text. When you read the entire text and you get to know, oh, that was the reversal of my expectation. I never thought about that. It could be that the holisticness of the text is going to be counted as much as possible. So I'll get on to that. I'll get on to that. I'll give you more examples also. But for now, you have to go steady, like baby steps. You need to just follow the set rule. But I'm happy that you already know about irony. I need to, give you thumbs up for this part that you already know about irony. That's interesting. So is this point clear? Have you understood?
Yes, miss, it's clear.
Okay. Is this Shameta? I'm trying to recognize your voices as well
Yes,
as much as
ma'am.
possible. Okay. All right. So I'm going back to the same screen where we were. Okay. So we have now juxtaposition done. And now we are looking at, I believe, metaphor, personification. I believe metaphor, personification, and similes. Do we have these concepts clear or do I need to explain it to you? First of all, just let me know. How many of you know similes? How many of you know personification? How many of you know metaphor? And if you don't know any three of it, I'll just quickly go through it.
Miss, I think
Yes,
you should go through it.
Okay. Please write it down. The first thing that we are looking at is, sorry, once again, I opened this part. Hold on. So I'm going to skip to this part. All right, so here we are. Okay, what is a simile? Please write down the heading. You don't have to copy down the whole thing, but you need to understand. A simile is a comparison between two different things by using like and as. There must be like and there must be as. I'm as blind as a bat without my glasses. So this is a simile. Forget about those days when you were using as cool as a cucumber or as dark as coal. These are too childish. We are looking at some more modified versions of similes. All right. My students are like warriors preparing for the exams. That is going to be a simile. I am comparing you with the help of as or like to something or with someone. This is a simile. All right, shall we move forward? A very quick, I don't think so there is any complex about this. And then you have metaphor versus simile. Can you identify what is, I just need to tell you what is a metaphor, okay? There I waited, crouched behind my pointed wall of words. That means you have a lot of details which are being given, but you are not able to show. For example, there is no like, there is no as over here. You're crouching behind the pointed wall of words. That means you can say a lot of words, but you are just crouching behind, or perhaps someone wanted to say a lot of things to you, but you're afraid of listening to it and you're hiding yourself away. This is a metaphor. What is this? Her voice was like water bubbling from a silver jar. What is this? It is making use of like. This is a simile. We were crushed by the hammer of sunlight. Crushed by what? Hammer. Hammer of sunlight. Sunlight doesn't have hammer, but we are giving it a quality. We are comparing it with the metaphor. With the metaphor. Metaphor is something. If I say Shumeta's face is a beautiful rose. This is a metaphor. I am comparing her with a beautiful rose. All right. She is a lion. That means I'm giving you a quality of a lion, of a brave lion. So, but I'm not using like or as. Comparison in metaphor will take place, but not using like or as. Similes must have like or as. I must sit quiet, still as a stone, silent and cold. Is this a simile or a metaphor?
It's a simile.
It's a simile. It has as to it. I am a swan paddling hard underwater but calm on the outside. The teacher is a swan paddling hard underwater, making all those worksheets and presentations and, you know, keeping the test scores, but calm on the outside.
A metaphor.
A metaphor. Very good. So, have you now understood metaphor versus simile?
Yes.
Okay, you have understood. So, next we are moving towards, okay, personification. I want Aisha, no, Aisha and Shumeta, they have taken their turns. Shizabita, can you please read this slide for me? Can you read it out loud? Personification.
Can you hear me?
Yes, a bit. Uh,
When we give a living human quality to a non-living thing, it is called personification. Example, death laid its cold hands upon the dead soldier in battlefield. Example, the chair took a breath of relief as soon as the fat woman stood up.
So person means personification. You need to understand that when we give a living or a human quality to an object, when we say walls have ears, ears like human quality, we can't give it to even walls, but we are giving, right? So this is called personification. This is, by the way, my favorite personification. When we are saying, because it creates magic in your writing. Death, death doesn't have hands. Death laid its cold hands upon the dead soldier in a battlefield. So this is a personification. All right. So I'm giving death, death as an abstract idea. I'm giving it a human quality. And then we have another example. Chair took a breath of relief. Chair cannot breathe, but I'm giving it a quality of breathing as soon as the fat woman stood up. So this is personification. Now, metaphor, simile, personifications. Are these 3 points clear?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Aisha Meme said yes. I'm remaining with 2 yes also. I need to listen to the feedback. Yes,
Yeah,
beta.
miss.
It's clear. I think you must have heard about it, but you probably over the period of time, we are so busy with other subjects also, so you might have forgotten. So we are done with these parts now. So these were the visual images that we were looking at. So this was our class in which we only understood some of the features. Tomorrow, I'm going to, inshallah, show you how you can actually tackle the paper. I will show you how your entire paper looks like and how we are going to begin with. So today, the topic was basics of paper one reading. It is important to understand certain terminologies before we hop on to the paper itself. So it was lovely to have you three. Inshallah, keep your note making journal separate where you're writing and taking your notes. That will be essential because when you're writing, you're learning even in a better way. All right. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. Take care.
Miss, a random
Yes, Beta.
question.
Yes, please ask me a question.
Yes, actually, it has been a long time since I've read something.
Mhm.
So, would you recommend some authors?
Yes, I would love to. Hold on, hold on. Now that you have talked, um, just a minute. Let me just share with you. There are so many, by the way. Um, Let me share with you. You can read anything that you want, but this is your lesson. And yeah, can you look at the screen right now? It says The Pilot's Wife,
Yes,
Anita
miss.
Shreve. It's by Anita Shreve. Sorry, hold on. I went too far below. Um, you can read The Pilot's Wife. You can also read, if you want, let me share another slide with you in which I have basically recommended. This is my AS level. I think, you know what I'm going to do on my WhatsApp group? I'm sharing some of the books and you can choose any one. All right.
Thank you.
Shumeta, Aisha, Shiza, lovely to have you, beta. Inshallah, looking forward for a more energizing class tomorrow. Inshallah, see you tomorrow. Take care.